Hey guys, Angel here. So I just got done using this gouge to carve up carving in red oak, and I know it just needs a touch up. So it's still cutting perfectly fine, but it's leaving some white streaks occasionally. So let me show you this board. There is the board. Now you really can't see it, and this feels very, very fine and very smooth still, but there's some white lines in there. That's kind of indicative of just like some micro scratches, some micro chips in the very leading edge of the bevel. In fact, when you turn it like this in the light and you're looking closely, you can see some reflections, and that's a clear indication that you need to touch up your edge. So the way that I do it is I use a diamond stone. This is a DMT. You'll see the red sticker right there. That means this is a fine diamond stone. Don't ask me what grit it corresponds to. Frankly, it doesn't matter. I don't really care. There's some microns on there. This is my touch-up stone. This is what I use if I know that I don't need to do a lot of work on the bevel, but just enough to fix things like that, like those microchips. And this is super easy. Check it out. So obviously this is not like a regular flat chisel. It's not a flat bevel. It has that curve to it. So what I do is I roll the chisel as I pull it back. And I'm only going to pull because this is an interrupted pattern, right? See those little yellow dots in there? That means that the stone is interrupted, and they do that so that you don't get as much accumulation of the swarf. So the metal that comes off of this gets embedded into those circles. But if you're pushing, you have a high likelihood of getting caught up in one of those circles and actually damaging the blade even more than what it is. So here, let me just show you. I'm just going to put it on there like that, get that bevel, get the angle to the bevel of the chisel like this, and then just pull it back and roll it. And I'm just going to do this a couple more times. Let's see, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and just very, very light pressure. Okay, so now I didn't do such a good job because you can see in the back the scratches are kind of weird. Okay, so instead what I'm going to do is instead of putting it and pulling it straight back, I'm going to turn this chisel like this because now I have more surface area for contact and I can actually control that bevel a little bit easier. Now I don't want to go too steep because if I go too steep, then I'm actually reshaping the bevel significantly. And what I'm going to have to do is reshape that primary bevel. So I'm a big fan of a secondary bevel, which is, some people refer to it as a micro bevel. Whatever, don't get wrapped around that stuff. Just do what you got to do. All right, that's a little bit more uniform. So now, I know I told you I wasn't going to push, but it's working for me, okay? So if you ever do get caught up in it, you'll know that you have to go ahead and fix that. Okay, so now I'm just going to do things like this. You know, sometimes these things just don't work out the way that you want them to. That's okay. All right, so I can see I have pretty consistent scratches across the entire backside of it. Okay, now I know I have a very micro burr on the opposite side, but I can hardly feel it. Okay, so I don't really need a burr, but I'm gonna go ahead and strop this now. So here, this is my rough side of my strop with some green jeweler's compound, and I'm just pulling that chisel towards me like that. All right, do it a couple times. All right, it's getting polished on there. Now, if I did have a burr on the other side, I'd have to file or kind of work on the inside. And what I use is something like this, which is what I've designed these guys. They're like plastic slipstones, obviously not made out of stone at all. They're just plastic. So what I do is I take it on the inside and I just roll it on there. And this is 1200 grit sandpaper. Nothing fancy, just aluminum oxide, not silicone or ceramic or anything like that. And you can also even angle it. So you can see that stone like that. I'm giving it a pretty drastic angle. And a lot of people are going to say, hey, you got to keep it flat to the interior. Well, that's only true if you're doing a flat chisel. If you're doing something like this, who cares what that angle is, right? It's there's plenty of people who use double beveled chisels and they work perfectly fine. Okay, so now technically that burr is on the opposite side. So I'm going to flip it one more time using that strop. Now I get to switch to the interior to strop it. So here's my piece of leather. I don't think I've really used this piece of leather very much, so it's going to be a little stiff for me. There it is. Okay, so wrap it around there. If you have a smaller chisel, this might be more difficult. You might want to kind of ease that leather and kind of work it a little bit so it's more malleable and more pliable, but this one's working quite fine. Okay, and let's polish it up on the other side of the smooth side of my strop, and that should give me a nice mirror polish. Now, okay, so this side of the strop has no compound, nothing on it, just years of using it for sharpening my tools. So I haven't cleaned it, I haven't done anything to it. I'm conditioned it. Right, let's see. Okay, that is nicely polished now. I can feel that there is not a single burr. Okay, and that, you can see that polish on there. Now let me see if it works just the same way it did or if I completely messed it. So here's that piece of wood. Oh yeah, that's definitely smoother than it started. So there you go. That's one easy way to sharpen your gouges.